two wheels this week, Wayne's at the British round of the World Outdoor Trials Championship. Brendan Riley shows us some dodgy bike modifications and Jeff finds a new way to try out your favourite bike.
Just check that out, isn't that just fantastic? A natural amphitheatre. And all these people here are watching a trial, but not just any old trial. This is the British round of the World Trials Championship and it's held in the Isle of Man. It's a two-day affair. This is the first day of the event and the sunshine is fantastic. God only knows what's going to happen tomorrow, it could chuck it down. What's trials all about, you might ask? Well, it's a sort of bunch of barmy boys really, playing out on knobbly tired bikes, jumping over rocks and things, going up grass banks, but doing the most remarkable things with a motorcycle. Now I want you to have a look at these lads doing this riding because you'll be well impressed. And the thing about it is you could actually be there watching it live because trials are all over the country all year round. Come rain or shine, they play out. So if you go for a ride on your fancy two-wheeled machine and you normally go to a gathering of lads who park up in a pub, car park, or you go to these meetings at, is it like Box Hill, and they go to the Devil's Bridge and the Barn, all these places where people meet up. All you do is talk about the exhaust cans you've got and the new fancy race prepped cams you've fitted, all that sort of thing. It's fair enough, but you could call it a trial because it costs you nothing. Plenty of noise, as you can probably hear, and you could even see the world top lads playing because we've got the best in the world on our doorstep. We've got Dougie Lampkin, a world champion, Graham Jarvis, third in the world last year, and some other lads who are ace. Steve Colley is a Manxman, so obviously there's a lot of Manx people watching and supporting him. This is trials, yes, and that is the world champion, Dougie Lampkin, our very own Dougie Lampkin and our very own world champion. We don't have many of them on motorcycles, so we should support them. And that's why we're here, because this is the British round in the Isle of Man of the World Championship. And listen to that enthusiasm, isn't it just fantastic? There's an awful lot of people here. And the reason they've come is to watch their stars. Steve Colley's a Manxman, Dougie Lampkin is from Yorkshire, we've got Graham Jarvis, he's from England as well. It's great to see British lads doing a really quite genuine British event. So you should get to a local event and watch it. It's fantastic. Can you believe they're going to take a motorcycle that just looks like that, up there? It's amazing, isn't it? And the only difference between your bike and their bike is the fact that they weigh very little and they've got lumpy tyres, but they've still got a worker throttle and they've still got a flaming engine. It is quite remarkable. But anyway, you're wondering, aren't you, what on earth it's all about? How do you score? Is it a race? Well, it's not a race. Although they have a time limit to complete the course, it's really it's 6 to 7 hours, so it's not a problem. Within the section though, and the section starts with a marker suggesting section whatever, 14, finishing at the ends of section 14, which are usually around 50-60 yards long, they have 2 minutes to do that in. While they're riding through the section in those 2 minutes, they then are scored by an observer. Now if they happen to do something like fall off, then they score the maximum points, which is 5 marks. Should they go backwards as well whilst on the bike, that's the 5 marks as well. then it just so happens that if they make a dab, that is stick the foot down to assist, and they do that whilst moving, that's 1 mark lost. If they stick the foot down twice, that's 2 marks lost. If by any remote chance they happen to put the foot down whilst they're stopped, they get 2 marks as well for that. If they balance the bike, which they can do, you've seen that done, then they actually get a mark dropped for that as well. And then if they happen to put the foot down twice while the bike is stopped, they get 3 marks. Sounds very complicated, doesn't it? But at the end of the day, it's very simple. It's the bloke with the least amount of marks is the winner. Well, Doug, congratulations. Good result today. Did you enjoy it or not?
Yeah, I've had a good day. I was 5 first section on first lap, which wasn't just what I wanted.
Saw that.
But after that, I know it's gone well. Sun shined. Crowd have been behind me. Been
loads of people. Loads of people watching.
A couple of thousand people down there.
Yeah. It's a good idea. The road bike lads, we're trying to enthuse the road bike lads to come and watch trials. You're a road bike rider, aren't you?
Yeah, I have a road bike. I've got a CBR 600 at home.
Oh, so we've been spreading rumours that this is your beastie.
No, this is for my mother.
Oh, I see. What, so you can follow around and bring you the butties?
Yeah, bring butties at
That's
the town.
a professional organisation. I'm very impressed with that. CBR 600 on the road. Tell us, has trials riding, off-road riding, been any help at all to riding a road bike?
Oh, yeah, it's been a lot of help. Obviously on the road bike there's all slippery conditions and everything, and it gives you a good idea of what the terrain is like to ride on. Obviously all roads are different as well as all tracks. We ride race trials bikes, so yeah, it's a big help to ride off-road.
Yeah. I'm trying to encourage the lads to get, road bike lads, to get off the road. Enjoy it, because there's no doubt about it's a bit of crack. And I mean, you can buy a trials bike for 700-800 quid.
Well, that's it, you see, they can't go on the road bike all winter, so why don't they stick to trials bikes through winter and road bikes through summer?
Too right, yeah. Now then, just to diversify a little bit, Scooter Man, this club, well, it's not, is it? Well, it's a fan club.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good idea, bit of merchandising, get people interested. I've seen loads of kids with all the gear on, that's good. Is there any chance at all that I might be a member of your exclusive club?
Oh, no.
What
It's
do you
only
mean, no?
exclusive members only. We can't be having rabble like you in.
Thanks very much, Doug. Thank you.
If that's excited you enough to go and watch some trials, all of the dates and venues can be found in the various motorcycle mags and press. And after the break, a tip from Brendan Riley, and Jeff finds a way to ride lots of different bikes.
Oh yeah, since last week I've had a load of letters now. One of them is a bit dodgy, but you know, I've got to answer to me fans. Basically, I've been requested to show you how to clop me bike. You know, wind the miles back, give it a bit of a haircut, or as I used to say, haircut 100,000. But you know, I'm not proud of myself. I've done it, I've been stung, and I've wound things back. I mean, I once bought a bike, I tell you, one lady owner from New. The only problem was it was Kate 80. It was knackered. Been round the clock more times than Bill Haley in the Comets. Done more miles than the Starship Enterprise. But you know, bit of polishing, giving it the old haircut on the numbers, and I sold it on. Brand new, made loads of money. Anyway, simple steps to do it. Basically, you've got to take the clocks apart. Now the trick is to try and do it to make sure that no one susses that you've actually done it. So 3 screws, dead simple. Back of the clock's off. Really easy this. Have a look at that, that's all right. There we go. This is a bit different than the one I did last time, so I think we've got to go from the front. Yeah, seal on this glass. Make sure that you don't scuff the seal up. So make sure you don't know that you scuff the seal, because if you do, people will suss that you've been messing with the glass, won't they? Yeah. Oh. Anyway, right. So be right. I'll sort it. There you go. Got the glass out the way. Now it's winding the numbers back. Now, most people use a little screwdriver like this, which is quite handy if you can get it in. Oh, and by the way, never leave your thumbprint on the old clock face, because that's always a telltale as well. So try and get the screwy in. Yep, there we go. That's not really big enough. Hold on a sec. There we go, little baby. There. Yeah, oh, there we go. There's the 9. It's going to a 6 now. Can you see that there, mate? Look at that, a 6. Yeah, I can get this. Have a little look here. I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, yeah, look, there you go. See? Look at the numbers. There we go. Go in. Can we get a 0 at the front there? Yeah, go on. Hold on a sec. Right, there we go. 41,000. Yeah, that's not really good enough. Just hold on a sec. Yeah, this is the one. Right, there we go, job's done. First thing we've got to do now is rebuilding. As I said, make sure that no one can actually see you, that you've tampered with the clock. So this is where the old duct tape comes in. Brilliant, this stuff. Yeah, get your duct tape in, and the job is absolutely, there we go, yeah, mint imperial. Look at that. That'll be ready for sale at the weekend. Make loads of money on it. See you next week.
Bikes are brilliant for getting about and seeing the country, aren't they? Take the Clifton suspension bridge behind me. This was built by Isambard Kingdom Brunel in 1864, and you don't get much higher than this.
But you could get a higher bike. Not higher as in height, but higher as in bike rental.
Barry, car hire we're all used to. You see all the places on holiday or wherever. But bike hire, what are the reasons that people want to hire a bike?
All different sorts of reasons, really. Born-again bikers, youngsters that are at the correct age to hire machines from us with our minimum age.
Which is what?
Which is 25.
Yeah.
Minimum age of 25.
Too risky below that?
Yes. Too many hotheads.
Okay,
yeah. Mainly, it's probably a cheaper way of getting into motorcycling, to see if motorcycling is the way that people want to get back into if they've been to it in the past.
And what do people have a bike for? Is it for a weekend? I mean, we said people could try a bike out if they're thinking of buying one, but I mean, what about the weekend hire and the weekend?
The main hire really is weekend. Either pick up a Saturday morning or a Friday afternoon to give them the option to get to wherever they want to go, or ideally going abroad to France and Spain and Italy, even to Northern Ireland or Southern Ireland, to nice areas for holidays for weeks at a time.
So if people did that, would they be people who already got a bike anyway, but perhaps it wasn't suitable?
Yes, we do run into that area as well, where people want to go away for long durations, pick up instead of a Saturday morning, and they're not quite sure whether their own machine is up to long distance, sort of 150, 200 miles in one go, and they come in and hire from us.
Is that because it might be unreliable, or just it's a sort of a focused sports bike that they don't think is going to be suitable?
They've got a question mark on the reliability of their machine.
Right, okay. And then some people must want to take the wife. Perhaps they don't normally, but they say, well, we'll get a pan, for instance, or whatever.
That means you get a lot of couples that book up to go away to sort of picturesque, scenic areas of the country.
So I've touched on the pan-European. I think you tend to think bike hire, certainly before coming here, I tend to think it's all touring bikes, but it's not, is it? I mean, you've got a range. Just run through what you can hire.
We range from the new Yamaha R6, which is the Super Sport 600 category.
The ideal touring machine.
Absolutely. If you're solo. To the CBR 600, which is a bit more sort of pillion friendly.
Yeah.
We move on to the VFR 800s, which is a real out-and-out sports touring fantastic machine.
Yeah.
We do the Triumph Sprint STs, which is a new model for Triumph this year.
But another, a good all-round sports tour.
Absolutely. And then we move on then to the Triumph Trophy, and which you've already mentioned, the ST1100, which they're again fantastic, good touring machines.
And earlier, did I see a ZX6 as well that you can hire?
Yeah, we do the ZX6R as well.
Yeah, and so when people hire those, is that, do you sort of have a bit of a wary eye? Are they taking it out for a blat, and think? Well, I suppose they are if you have a ZX.
Yeah.
But not track days. You don't want to take.
No, not track days. No, not track days. That's just one stipulation that they do sign against.
Yeah, perhaps just for a pose down the local pub or whatever.
That's right. Yeah.
On the car, collision damage waiver is something you sign up for.
It's something that we've thought about. The option is there if we had wanted it, but we decided against it. We take a deposit on the machine on the day.
Yeah.
And that is then fully refunded on safe return and undamaged return.
Yes. And so, what's the typical figure on that?
25 years, which is our minimum age, up to and including 27 years of age, is £400.
Yeah.
And then from 28 years of age upwards, it's 350, and that's on all the models that we do.
Right, and that is a completely refundable deposit as long as it's brought back in apple pie order.
That's it.
And what about a simple sort of scraping a mirror or whatever he happens to do? I mean, do they lose that?
No, they wouldn't lose their deposit. No, not at all. The cost of the repair to the machine would then be deducted from their deposit. And if they've got anything left to be refunded, they would get a refund.
Right. And what about, heaven forbid it happened, but if they totaled the bike,
They would just lose their deposit. That would be it.
Yeah, and so there's no more, you don't come knocking on the door and saying you cost us £8,000.
It would be nice.
But you're not going to do that.
Yeah, no, we don't do things like that. No.
So getting down to some of the nitty-gritty parts of it, the costs of this hire, I know you've mentioned your weekend, and you also mentioned picking it up on a Friday. That's sort of a long weekend. But how does it work? Can you have a week, a month, one day?
You can have it. Minimum is one day's hire.
Yeah.
That can start from 9 o'clock in the morning to the following day, 24-hour hire, 9 o'clock, or dinner time to a dinner time, whichever suits to whichever schedule that the customer has got penciled in.
Okay, and typically, just to pick a bike, we'll say that the VFR 800 then, what will be the hire charge? We'll say a 24-hour hire on
24-hour hire from here would be £68.
Right.
That's fully inclusive with insurance, breakdown cover, unlimited mileage, whereas other companies put mileage charge on.
Right.
The dreaded VAT, and it comes with a security lock.
Do you tailor a bike to suit the person?
We vet them over the phone, or I vet them over the phone.
Sounds a painful operation.
If you're a vet. And try and extract as much information from them as we can to make sure that the bike that they want to choose is the bike really suited for them and that purpose.
So what sort of questions would you ask them? What do you intend to do with the bike?
Yeah, where they're going to be going, what distance they're going to be travelling, previous experience, on what size bikes, their height, their build.
Oh, so you do go through all this?
Yes. Yeah. So just to find out really, are they happy with the bike that they're going to choose, or it possibly may be the wrong decision. Whereas a guy might, or a lass, we mustn't forget the lady aspect of it. They might phone in and ask to hire a CBR 600, which is good, very, very good for distance work.
Yeah.
But they might be taking a pillion passenger,
right.
and the VFR 800 or the Triumph Sprint ST may be better suited for them for that purpose.
With all this lot, we seem to have covered absolutely everything, but there must be people that you mentioned earlier who are coming back into biking who haven't got their own gear, or perhaps they haven't got waterproof but got leathers. And I know that you also do that as well.
We certainly do, we certainly do.
And so what is it? Is this waterproofs in the main and boots?
Yes, waterproof boots. Everything is waterproof that we supply.
Yeah.
It's thermally insulated. It's got the protection on the shoulders and on the elbows.
And his gloves and his boots, helmets,
everything.
The whole shebang.
If you follow me, I'll get you kitted up.
Okay. Well, that's it. I've got all my gear. I'm taking my helmet because I prefer it. Got the gloves. I'm going to continue my spin before it starts to, let's say, pee down with rain.
On Two Wheels next week, Jeff goes back to school in Nottingham to learn all about motorcycle mechanics, and some more advice on modifications from Brendan Riley.